aloha, aloha, kako. I'm so happy to see all of you today. I was like, oh, am I going to have 2 or 25? I didn't know who was coming today. So mahalo for coming and joining me. This morning, the class is the Hawaiian Spirit Box. Little background before we get started, but some housekeeping. The restrooms are straight down in that cafe building to the left if you have to go. Please turn off your cell phones because for the next hour, we're going to focus on you. So I want you to take the time to just kind of be with yourself today, a little bit quiet, a little bit reflection, and put those cell phones on hold until the hour's through. If you have an emergency, vibrate it, and you can take it outside. Okay? So a little background about me. My name is Diane, Kamaolipua, Grace. I use Kamaolipua when I work with my women's groups because I honor my mother and my great-grandmother. And I am born and raised here on Oahu from Kuli'o'o. Currently, I live for the last 11 years in Hilo from the island of Hawaii. So my job is actually as a counselor and coach with people who want to buy their first homes or perhaps those who are losing their homes. But my real life work has to do with my intuitive counseling and coaching. And primarily this work, this work is about teaching or assisting people in becoming the best that they can be, reaching their full potential, kind of getting in touch with ourselves sometimes that we tend to forget. So this Hawaiian Spirit Box, the purpose of putting this together was as myself as a young mother, as a woman, being overwhelmed with all the kuleana that we have to do, raising our children, being a good daughter, being a good employee, taking care of all those things that we have to take care of was I realized really difficult. But at certain times I would become stressed, feeling unbalanced, and I was thinking, what is happening with this? And I realized that a lot of it was not really getting in touch with that inner self, that inner wisdom that all of us have. So I decided to really explore, this is when I was younger, to really explore that side of me. And I put together this workshop primarily as a fun thing for women to do, simple, really, to get in touch, and also as part of honoring my culture, my Kupuna, who came before me. Because historically, long ago, our Kupuna always tapped into that. They survived on their na'au, on that inner wisdom. There was not anything, any doubt. Today in our modern society with technology and all the media that goes on, the frantic pace of our society, we sometimes don't take the time to tap into that. In addition, we sometimes, all the media out there is about taking care of the outer appearance, making sure that we're looking good, and even physically, keeping thin and all that. But do we really focus on that inner self? A lot of times not. That's something that, like my sister-in-law over here said, Oprah has really put a focus on that. So women are more paying attention to that. So today, we're going to do what I call a Hawaiian Spirit Box. The Spirit Box is a container which represents your spirit. You're not really going to make it, but what we're going to do is we're going to awaken. How many of you use your intuition? How many of you use your na'au on a daily basis? Good. More than half of you guys. Wonderful. So if you are, great. Maybe you'll get a little bit deeper awareness of what Spirit is asking of you. For those of you who really don't use it that much and really might need a little bit of awakening, this might be a good exercise. It's really only about you. There's no right and wrong, but it's about exploring today and having a little bit of fun in the process, okay? So let me explain the process, what we're gonna do, because it's real simple. We're gonna take a little bit of time to relax, because we've all been like standing in line outside, running around, doing all of it. So we need to kind of, even for myself, just kind of relax, We're going to start with 7 deep breaths in and out. A lot of people talk about the chakras. I don't know if all of you are familiar with chakras. 7 points in the body from the bottom to the top. And clearing, the belief is that clearing those chakras helps to let the energy flow. So the 7 breaths in and out is for that reason. Deep breaths, not from here, but from here, we're going to take those 7 breaths. So that is primarily to relax you, get you in the space for what we're going to do next. So then the next process after we've done this is we have bags here. I have my assistant, Auntie Di over there, who's going to pass. And this is where I'm having a little bit of a kind of figuring out how we're going to do this. These bags are going to be passed around in your little groups. We have 2 sets. You have to take the bag and you have to ask yourself, does my spirit need this today or for balancing my life? You're not going to, I want you for a little bit to just set aside those senses of touch, smell, and see, so that you can actually get in touch with listening to your intuition, your na'au. You're going to just take the bag, hold it. Do I need this or no? If you don't, pass the bag on to the next person. Okay? Simple. During this time, I ask that you just all kind of be quiet, let everybody have the chance to do this. Now, because we're limited in what we have, just take 1 item. And it may be that you might have an empty package that comes around. And I'm sorry about that. But I want everybody to experience this. And whatever you get, you get. Okay, we're going to, it's part about being flexible sometimes too, so we're going to do that. So after you've chosen everything, take out what you have chosen, put it in front of you, and we'll discuss what the item is. Now these items, I've utilized some of the plants and materials that our Kupuna brought with them. Simple things that we use today, really, but I thought important. And what I did with these items, I did the same thing that I'm asking of you. What is it that women need today? And what item do I need to choose? And what will it represent? So I've done the exercise as much as you have done it. You're going to do the exercise. So is there any questions so far? It's going to be really simple. The longest part is going to be taking that bag and really tuning in and listening. After we're through, everybody's done, the bags are back to where it's supposed to be, then we'll talk a little bit about what each item means and what you do from there. Okay? Any other questions? No? Okay, so, oh yes. You don't look in the bag, you don't touch anything in the bag, you don't smell the bag, nothing. You're just going to hold the bag and ask, is this something that I need? Okay? And I've experimented this a couple of times. And the reason why, I used to have people touch, but what happened lately when I just did this exercise was somebody told me, I was looking for something soft. And I went, no, you don't need something soft, because soft is not necessarily what we got and what that represents for you. So you just need to take the bag and ask. And a lot of times it's going to be that you have to just listen. Yes or no? Do I need this? Yes or no? Okay? Any other questions?
So if that's what you need, you then take it out?
Yes. If it says yes, you take 1 piece, put it in front of you, and then you pass the bag on. Okay?
What if you don't like what you would pick
You might not like because nobody knows what these items mean. You don't know what it means. To you, it might be rubbish, but it means something. So, yeah, you might, after you find out about what you took, you might not like what you took, but that's all right. You'll have to take it home and reflect on it a little bit. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Di, where are you going to pass the bags? Are you going to have a sequence to passing the bags? Huh? Yeah. But when you, I want to just focus on how it's going to go so we don't miss anybody. Start it over there and over here and work your way down. Okay? Can everybody make sure you get a bag? And keep in mind, if the bag is empty, I'm sorry. But maybe it wasn't meant to be for right now. I want everybody to experience. Yes.
If the bag is empty, can we keep the bag?
I never thought about that. I think we'll have to wait till the end and see. Fun. Okay, so we got the idea, right? Everybody's gonna kind of help each other so that everybody gets a chance to go through these bags. There's going to be two sets, one coming down this side, going down the room, and one coming down this side, going down the room, okay? So once we start our breathtaking and we're relaxed, everybody's all comfortable, we're pretty much going to have silence and no more talking after that.
Can I ask one more question?
Sure.
Once we get the bag, do we just reach in randomly and get something?
You're gonna ask the bag, is this something I have to take? Is this a yes? Will this help my spirit? And if it says yes, just go in, pick one, and put it on your desk, and pass the bag back. Just take one. And if it gets stuck, just take one. Any other questions?
So we're not making the L in the bag, we're just...
Yes, I don't want you to look at it, primarily because when we look, we go, oh, I want that one. But that's not the purpose of it, because, or you might say, I don't want any of them. That's all junk. Because there is a purpose to each item that's going in. Okay? Any other questions? Okay.
One more question.
Yes.
You're not supposed to wind up with plenty stuff, right? Just one thing.
No, you can take as much as you can. If every bag says I need to take this, you take it. But keep in mind that everybody down the line, but if it's so strong that you need to take it, you need to take it. Okay?
So I'm just trying to ascertain, you can wind up with more than one thing.
Yes, you can. You can. You will have a box that you will fill up with your things. Okay? And the box was the purpose, and this is something I'm going to have to figure out because we only have limited boxes. But you will. That's Thank you. See, I knew we would all help each other. Okay, so any other questions? Oh yeah, do we have a chair? Come. You want to get comfortable?
You're going to be interested.
Come inside. If you can find a seat, come inside. We're welcoming everybody. We're just going to make do with whatever. Come. One of the things that... Okay, are we all set? Okay, I ask all of you to shut your eyes. Relax. Just for now, can we close and hold the door so there's no... Oh, okay. Okay, everybody relax, close your eyes. Begin your deep breathing. In through the nose, release through the mouth. 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 Into the nose. Release through the mouth. In through the nose. Release through the mouth. One more time. Into the nose. Release through the mouth. Okay, we'll stop. because we only have about. Okay, 5 minutes and then we're going to end. If you have bags, if you could pass it forward. How was that? Was that difficult? For most of you, easy? Huh? Okay. So what I'm going to ask to figure out who's going to get the actual boxes, who pulled River Rocks? River Rocks. It's the black card River Rocks. River Rocks? Okay, Diane, to the ones who are holding up their hands, can you give them a box? So I'm going to do this until we run out. For those of you who chose that river rock, the river rock, which was found on our riverbeds till today, and we often use for instruments, the ili ili, used for many uses for a kupuna in the old days. The river rock is very significant yesterday as well as today. Because the river rock is on the river and is dashed by, you know, all the elements of the currents as well as the wind and the rain and everything else. It hardens. So this rock is saying, Spirit says courage. Perhaps courage is what you need. So the river rock is courage. Everybody has that? Okay, so the next one, now, for those of you who are getting the Lauhala basket, and I apologize to all of you who didn't, I'm passing around a sign-in sheet. If you would like one, please email me your email address, and I'll send you one. So in the box, which is why we're calling it Spirit Box, just so for those of you who don't get one, comes a heart, because a heart is always something our spirit needs. It always needs that love, that aloha, that compassion. So every box has a heart. In addition, it comes with a small little bag of pa'akai. This pa'akai was from the salt beds from Kauai as well as Molokai. I have Ohana over there who gave me this pa'akai. So I share this with you a little bit, but the pa'akai is primarily to remind us that our spirit often needs cleansing sometimes. With all the busyness of the world and the problems that we take on and the challenges that we take on sometimes we need to have that pa'akai cleansing. The best thing for us would be to go out in the ocean. It's natural, it's there, but sometimes we don't have the time. Or for those of our family members, our ohana who live on the mainland, I oftentimes send this to them because nothing beats like our pa'akai from here. Okay, so that's the lauhala box. Now, the lauhala box woven from the pandanus, the lau from the pandanus, is primarily because I chose this, because it's something we still use today, but very important to our kupuna of yesterday. They made their mats with it. It was one of those things that they utilized in practically all their daily living. So that's the reason why I chose the box to be lauhala. Okay, then if you chose this, which looks like rubbish, but this. Did anybody choose this? It's probably parts of a leaf, a dry leaf. This is a mamaki. And of course, many of you should know that the mamaki is a tea that is grown and drunk today, used as medicine, primarily used to, revitalize yourself, to energize yourself. Still used today. So the word here is revitalization. Perhaps your spirit needs some vitality in there. Okay? Now, if anybody chose the Kukui Nut, who chose the Kukui Nut? Diane, how many more boxes we got? Huh? Okay, pass it out to the Kukui Nut. Raise your hands if you chose a Kukui Nut. So the Kukui Nut had many uses, especially for medicine. Seasoning our inamona that we use still today. But most importantly, our kupuna used it for light. Yeah, that was their source of light. So of course, Spirit is saying light. Perhaps you need some light. Okay, the next one that you might have chosen is this flower, the lauhala flower. Okay, if you chose this, now this one is primarily, I would have liked fresh flower, that would have been wonderful, but running around made me crazy. So I chose this, and our flowers here in Hawaii are the most, they just smell so wonderful, so delicate, nothing like it anywhere else in the world. So, sorry ladies, that's it. So we use those flowers to make lei and to celebrate every occasion that we could with the lei and our beautiful flowers. So Spirit says celebrate if you chose the flower. Now the other thing, anybody chose the bamboo? The bamboo? Okay. Of course, in our kupuna's time, the bamboo was used for building homes. They made the containers out of them. They used them for hula instruments, many things. But the bamboo is an interesting plant because it's so strong, but yet it's so flexible. So, of course, Spirit says flexibility, perhaps, is what you need. Okay, this one, the Kukui Ukulele that you might have received or chosen. It was a favorite instrument brought over by our Portuguese kupuna. So, of course, it makes beautiful music, and Spirit says music is something that you need. Oftentimes, music kind of soothes the soul, so maybe music is something that your spirit needs. Now, if anybody chose this fern, It's a fern. And from Hilo, the kupu fern brought over from Hilo, best known for growing out of our beds of lava. One of the first plants that sprout up before anything else. So this says new beginnings. The first thing that comes up. New beginnings, new beginnings. Now, I had to put this in. If anybody took the little slipper, okay. I didn't want you to look at it because it's so cute, you know. Everybody likes it. But of course, our Japanese Kupuna brought the slippers with them. So this means that perhaps you need to put your feet in somebody else's slippers. Empathy, perhaps, is what you need. Okay? Now, you might wonder what this is. This is the closest I could get to kappa. Okay? This is a representative of kappa. And of course, you all know about kappa, how important it was. In our Kupuna's days, the kappa was done by the women. And one of the stories told to me was that, you know, they used to sit there pounding their kappa, talking to the village next door about what was gossiping and happening in their village to the other village. So this is the kappa that's so important to them. But what it also did was, one thing that sometimes as when I do weddings is that they want to have like the wedding ceremony, but they didn't have wedding ceremony. Their ceremony was putting that kappa around them to commit to each other. So the kappa represents commitment. Commitment. Okay? And you folks, I saw somebody with this, the shell, the little shell. Okay, the shell, of course, comes from our ocean. Not really this one, but, and the shell came to me as something that lots of us don't do. I'm surprised not everybody took it, but it means to ho'olohe, listen. Listen to spirit, because oftentimes we don't listen. It tells us many times, but we just don't listen. Okay? Then you have the feather. The feather. Now, the feather came through our ali'i. It was really only the ali'i that had the feather caves. They went out and caught the bird, took the one feather, the two feather, and that's what they made all their capes and garments or whatever out of. But this feather, because it was reserved for our ali'i and our royalty, I put into your choosing, because I want you, if you chose this, to remember to honor and cherish your inner spirit. And that's what the feather means. This little packet that you might have gotten or chosen is sand. Sand from, where did I get this from? I think it was from this island. But the sand represents, as the waves roll in and out and the beaches go out and they go in, it's always creating new land for us, taking away, giving back. So the sand represents create. Create. Now, stones have always been a fancy for me. I like stones. So I've included something called the Jasper Stone. For those of you who don't know the Jasper Stone, how many of you guys chose this one? Wow. I didn't know I had that many. And primarily because the Jasper Stone is known as the supreme nurturer. That's what the Jasper Stone. So it sustains and supports yourself during times of stress. So when you need nurturing and that kind of grounding, this is the Jasper. Okay. Now, one of the things that I had put in there for those who had the baskets, pass this up to those who had the boxes. And we are, for those of you who didn't get a box, later on we'll give you a bag so that you can take your stuff home in a bag. This is the tea leaf, of course. Many uses for us. I can't know how I wouldn't have tea leaf in my yard, in my life. It is for everything, for cooking, for hula, for just about everything that I can think of. But primarily, the tea leaf is put in here to symbolize protection. because that is very important from our Kupuna's days as well as today. If those of you are not familiar, a lot of the Hawaiian households have their tea leaves around their house, yeah, for protection. So this always is something that is important, and we have to malama this because we use, and it represents a lot to us as Hawaiians. Okay, so that's pretty much all the items that went around. I so apologize if you didn't get to all of them that you wanted to, but I just hope that through this exercise you get a little bit of feel of how sometimes we do have to tap into that spirit, our inner wisdom, our na'au that we have sometimes that we kind of just don't have the time for to listen. And if you have any questions or you want to know anything more, please let me know. It's an interesting journey as we women take of trying to figure out how to fit everything in this modern world. What I truly believe for myself is that we need to get back to the simple and the basics in order to be not only better women, but a better society. And for us as women, I do believe that we take a lot of that responsibility, and it is our kuleana, really. It is, as mothers, as nurturers, as tradition holders, passing down these stories, this mo'olelo, it is our kuleana. Okay? Does anybody have any questions?
So you chose a heart, and does that equate to what was inside the box with the heart?
Yes, because I did have some hearts that went around. So that would be aloha, compassion, love, perhaps that's what you're looking for at this time. Yeah. So we do have bags for those who didn't receive boxes. If you could raise your hands, we'll give you a bag so you can take your stuff home in the bag at least. And once again, I have a sign-out sheet. If you see it coming around, please fill it out. I also, Diane, you have the papers with the yeah, okay. So for those of you who didn't receive a box, if you could, after you called that, raise your hand. I do have this that tells all the different items that were in the box or was chosen and what it represented. So if you didn't receive a box, then you can have one of these. Okay. Okay. So. Because I get boxed. Yes. Yeah.
Who needs a bag? Ray, you need a bag. You want a bag?
Just pass it out until we don't have any more. Just remember, if you have a box, don't take one. And very good. This is supposed to be the exercise. You're supposed to wrap the tea leaf around your box. So that was what the tea leaf was for. Yeah.
Somebody needed a bag. I have a question.
Yes. It would be excellent for the whole family because, you know, our Kuhinapapa, really need to get in touch. It would be wonderful if you can use it as a little family exercise. They have fun with it. So it would be good. Take it home to your ohana and play and make it like a game. But it's really about them getting in touch with getting practice with them. So yeah.
That tells the story. That is my teacher.
Any other questions?
How do you suggest we use our na'au on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, start out with simple. Just get into the practice of asking, is this right? Yes or no? Do I need this? Yes or no? The hardest part we have with this is trusting it and listening. Trusting and listening is two big issues that we have. So just start with simple yes or no, and start with simple things that don't give you stress. Like if the answer is no, start with simple things. And then as you get more comfortable with it, and then continue to use it. Exactly. That'll cause less stress, right? Because you're asking yes or no, yes. But then people say, oh, are you sure? They start second, and that's where the lack of trust comes. So that's why I say start off simple. Just ask. Nothing too hard. You're not getting it. Yeah. Eat Big Mac or have a salad. Something that doesn't cause too much stress. And I always say, if you don't want to know, don't ask.